Did you, as a government, really prioritise dogs over people to get them out of Afghanistan?
Well, I think you can see that we didn't do that because in 2 weeks we pulled off, and it was a joint effort, Foreign Office, Home Office, MOD, the evacuation of 15,000 people. That's just in 2 weeks. That is the biggest evacuation in living memory. The only country that got more people out was the United States. And it took an absolutely heroic and Herculean effort to achieve that under incredibly difficult conditions.
He also went on to say, this young guy who was a desk officer, 25 years old, said there were 75 to 100,000 pleas for help. Less than 5% were helped. Do you recognise those figures?
I don't, but what is certainly true is that we had a lot of people rushing to get out of Afghanistan for all sorts of reasons. And I think it's right that we had a process in place to check two things. One, that we were helping those at genuine risk of persecution, or British nationals, or people who had worked for the British government. And secondly, making sure that we didn't allow anyone to come into the UK who might present a threat to the UK.
So a longer timeline could have saved lives?
We always said that we were up against this timeline, that a combination of the US deadline and the Taliban's approach to it, that we were working to an expedited deadline. And look, that put pressure on the evacuation plan. But we'd been planning for this since well before, since January, and indeed again in April. We changed the travel advice. Those schemes like the app scheme were being set up. But of course, if we'd have had extra time, we would have prolonged that period. Well, and as a result of the change, you've got to adapt to the changing situation on the ground, the Taliban takeover. And at that point, we continued to work with our partners, Qatar, to get further flights with British nationals and others that work for us out. We also worked with the partners on the borders, both in the Uzbekistan, Pakistan. We did everything we could. But you have to have some form of process. Again, otherwise you're not going to be letting in those who are most at need of your help. And also, I think the public and people watching this would expect us to check that we don't have anyone coming into the UK who will pose a threat to us.